Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event of the evening. Featuring your host from Bahasa Uptown, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Weighing in at 274 whiteboard markers. He is your fellow Uptown Lulai, Cornelius. Low. Thank you. I do deserve it indeed. Yes, Wonder Boy, yes. For those that are wondering what in the world is Wonder Boy talking about here, concerning looking forward to our tag match very soon. It is referring to I suppose the last not a Square Circle Made Simple game show that I did. So basically I did a game show where it wasn't Square Circle Made Simple for the first time ever, and it was basically the inverse. So instead of it being VTubers answering pro wrestling questions, it's pro wrestlers answering VTuber related questions. Wonder Boy somehow, someway was able to steal it all and got himself a wish, and his wish was to have a tag match with me. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how to feel about that indeed. I'll name you Cornell. Well, see, the thing is, you think that will annoy me, but that won't annoy me, Wonder Boy, because my fans, the regulars, already call me Corny, all right? Because it's Cornelius, Corny. It's there, okay? I'm supposed to be more patient here. Wonder Boy. So don't test me. Don't test me, you. So yes, don't know exactly when. We've had a busy week after all. So I will. We might do the tag match. I don't know. In due time. It is something that I do intend to fulfill for Wonder Boy. Why he wants to have a tag match with me, I don't know. He knows I don't like. He knows I don't like him. So we'll see. The dream team. Wait, I just realized you're already in an established tag team with Miles Carew, the Juicy Boys, and then you're gonna tag with me. What is this nonsense? In any case, folks. Welcome to Cafe Cornelius. I am your host, professional wrestler turned butler, VTuber, Cornelius Low, at your service. Just curious, folks. How is the music? Is it too soft, too loud? How is my volume? Too soft, too loud? Do let me know on all these things. You're looking for options. As far as I'm concerned, in Malaysia Pro Wrestling, Miles Carew is like one of the very few lads that's able to actually control you somewhat. That you actually sort of listen somewhat. That's able to reel you in somewhat. I don't know how he does it, but he manages it. And I prefer to leave it to him. With that being said, sure. I will still fulfill my obligations to you as a butler with the bell low. Perfect audio partner. Don't call me partner. So today is basically a little bit of a post-mortem on what happened last week, especially in the wrestling weekend. What I have dubbed the Funky Weekend, which is my PW New Breed 2 that occurred in Kuash Theatre in Kuala Lumpur. To say that this was a funky weekend is really putting it lightly. I called it that at first, just to humor the other trainees and pro wrestling peers, but it really became a very funky weekend. One of the funkiest I've ever had in my 7 years of doing this. This particular event is memorable to me in ways that I truly did not expect, and I guess it's challenged me and it's changed me a little bit. So yes, indeed. Oh, just let me just get some housekeeping rules out of the way first, folks. Please do read and follow the rules laid out in the description down below. In the description down below of this stream. I know it's a lot, but I really do. I like to keep a tidy house here. Do let me know whenever if I sound a bit a bit wrong, a bit loud, or if I'm using a sound effect and I forgot to turn it off, that sort of thing. Concerning more insider stuff about New Breed 2 and especially about wrestling in general, please remember, folks, I am part of the industry. Okay, I am a wrestler myself. Wow, it's real rich seeing you telling everyone to follow my rules. Oh my God, what's happening? So considering things like insider info, what really happens behind the scenes, especially concerning the larger companies like WWE, AEW, that sort of a thing. I might have an opinion or two. Sure, everyone has opinions on these things. I will refrain from really speaking out too deeply. Talks, welcome to Cafe Cornelius. Yes, so there will be moments where I'll be speaking quite coyly. In the event, you will see. You'll see. All I ask is that you just respect my privacy about these things. Remember, I am part of the industry. I'm not like one of those those YouTubers that does pro wrestling content that can freely talk about whatever they want and have a very particular opinion about these sort of things. I'm part of the industry. Okay, like I can. It's like me. It's like I can be a movie critic. You know, I can write up and do review videos all I want. But concerning pro wrestling videos, that's a slightly different matter. I can provide some insight. I will say what's interesting, but to outright deride and criticize and especially make fun of this and that match, with some exceptions. Yeah, I prefer to be much more diplomatic about this sort of thing. How have you been, Talks? How have you been? It's been a while. How have you been? So, without further ado, folks, we're gonna chill here first before we get to the photos, just because that's not really relevant just yet. Man, what an insane show! What an insane show! So I do have some photos and maybe even one special video to show you folks. But that will be only specifically for New Breed 2. Everything else before and after, you'll just have to take my word for it. Tall tales, perhaps? Tall tales, perhaps. I just remember something that occurred that I'm not gonna say too much on because, oh my goodness. Okay, oh man, everything was such a... That event leading up to it itself was already such a blur. Basically, folks, one through line for this whole event is hectic, especially for me particularly, because without saying too much, this is... Now, we've held shows in my PW in Kuwash Theatre many times. I've lost count. It's been many times at this rate. But one big difference between this event and others is that we're on a bit more of a deadline. Deadline is a little bit tighter this time round. I think it's due to it being a new management, if I'm not wrong. So in the past we could sort of take our time a little bit and space things out a little bit more. Not this time though. Not this time. This time we had to hustle hard. Oh man, so we're off to a pretty good start actually, because on Wednesday itself, so in some ways my Foggy weekend began on Wednesday night already. After a short training session, the bunch of us, we got the trainees, the new trainees and myself and a few other coaches, began to disassemble the ring already, and we were actually doing pretty well for ourselves. Actually, we gotten things. We gotten the ring disassembled pretty quickly. Okay, so that was like step one. Mind you. Okay. So things start off pretty hot already. So to those who aren't aware, folks, if you're wondering who are those in charge of disassembling a ring, transporting the ring, and then reassembling it back in the show, disassembling it, transporting it into the truck, taking it back to our training center, and then reassembling it again. Us wrestlers, us trainees, us coaches, we're the ones that do it. You know, at least in those smaller independent companies, which is what my PW is. So yeah, once again, it's all up to us. Maybe in the larger companies they might have a crew to help them with this, but in Malaysia, it is very much us wrestlers and trainees that does it. So there were some trainees that literally came for the first time ever, actually, where they've never even done a little bit of training before, and maybe some tryouts, but for the most part they've not really trained yet. But they stepped in to be part of ring crew, which is something I'm very, very grateful for. You know, I'm going to make it very clear. It is us ourselves that are doing it. You know, so, and mind you, some of us are also wrestling on the Saturday. You know, so a lot of us are pulling double duty, triple duty sometimes. So Wednesday went by pretty well, pretty smoothly. We got things done quite quickly, so that was a good start. Thursday was the beginning was when things really started to heat up, essentially, because Thursday was the time where a lot of the international starting to come down to Malaysia. Remember, we have folks from Singapore and Australia flying in. In fact, I think almost everyone was flying in from Melbourne. So that's a long flight, long flight. I don't have much to say about Thursday, with one exception. God, okay, bear with me here. This is a long one, folks. So Thursday, I'm historically I've been one of the guys in charge of helping in bringing in the international talent. So yes, I'm also a glorified chauffeur, folks. So if you wish to contact my service, call 1-800 Cornelius. Links is somewhere. It's somewhere, folks. It is somewhere. So Thursday, drove myself to KLIA to pick up certain talents. I won't name who they are exactly. To pick up some talents. However, I was in contact with one of the other wrestlers who was also helping out with transporting, and basically he has some know-how. He has some know-how about flights, and he informed me that the folks that I am supposed to be picking up, their flight got delayed. They were supposed to come in on that Thursday night. They unfortunately were only able to come in on the Friday. In fact, Friday afternoon. They got delayed at least twice. Mr. Lowe, could you please give me a minute to let you know our team's catchphrase? Dude, we are only tagging for one match. One match. And you want to have a catchphrase already? Really? Well, out with it then. Out with it. What's our stupid catchphrase? It better be something that I accept, okay? Knowing you is something I'll probably regret. Come on, say it. 8-6. So I see that Wonderboy here is quite enthusiastic about us tagging together. Howdy partner. How is howdy partner even in character for either of us? You don't say howdy, I don't say howdy. So no, it's not going to be howdy partner. We are not the howdy boys. I just cringe at myself saying that. Oh, that hurt. Oh. No, it is not going to be we are not the howdy boys, and we will not say howdy partner. We will make it work. Just because a pipe is circular doesn't mean it can fit into a square hole, Wonder Boy. What was I saying before you so rudely interrupted me? Yes. So, yeah. I drove all the way to KLIA for nothing. Mind you, on an empty stomach as well. Meanwhile, the other wrestler who was supposed to pick up another talent well, that talent did in fact arrive on time to KLIA, and he got shipped away with not much of an issue. So I had to drive myself back to Gamansara Uptown without any passengers. So that was to say that I was a little annoyed. Well, I won't lie. Was putting an understatement. I don't know. Perhaps those talents that booked the cheapest possible flights, maybe they need to be a little bit more risk adverse, because if from my understand, they chose the cheapest possible flight with an airline that was sort of known for causing delays. Okay, I'm not going to name any names, just out of respect to hardworking pilots and airlines. But yes, if you are on a deadline, folks, you've reached somewhere on very sharp time, it's best to not go for the cheapest possible option. Luckily, there was still some wiggle room, so it's not so the Australian talents didn't exactly have to arrive exactly at Thursday night, you know. So they could arrive. So them arriving on a Friday afternoon or morning is actually sort of okay, because there was still some wiggle room to do some stuff and to prep accordingly. So that was Thursday. Friday, that's when things really start to pick up, baby. That's when it really started to pick up. So early Friday morning. So mind you, I had to get myself back home, get some early sleep, and on a Friday morning, we had to we were there pretty early. The ring was already disassembled, but here's the challenge. To those that have ever been to our training center and have seen our house shows, we had 3 consecutive house shows last year in every month. So like October, November, December. We'll know that to get to that performance space, which is an indoor football stadium, you'll know you have to climb up a flight of stairs. There is no lift, no industrial lift, in fact. So we have to lug the frame, the steel beams, the ring posts, the ropes, the apron, the ring mat, which is deceivingly heavy, and everything else related to the ring, down those flight of stairs and into the truck. Thank goodness a lot of us, the majority of us that came in that morning already have experience with this. So, and I assisted, essentially, with helping us out. When I say assisted, I mean like a help to coordinate and essentially yell at the boys. I gave the lads due warning. I am going to be Mr. Bad Guy that entire weekend, just so that I can make sure everyone is focused, and we shipped it off in due time, and we're working like clockwork, or close to it at least. You know, there's some wiggle room for me to be Mr. Nice Guy, you know. But did I actually legitimately have to yell at the boys to, hey, lads, focus, let's get it moving. Careful. Okay? Take it slow here, and all that jazz. I had to do that, you know. I wasn't like the main coordinator, but I was the guy with a voice, essentially. Yeah. I do have this booming voice that I can put to good use after all. So it's not just yelling at my opponents; it's also yelling at the ring crew to make sure that they do right by everybody. My goodness. So yeah. Took us a little bit. I was a little bit worried, but in fact, we moved a lot quicker than I expected. Actually, I am shocked. There was a decent number of us for sure, but for us to stuff everything into the truck was a little shocking at how fast we went, because and so we arrived in the Kouash Theatre space itself by I want to say slightly before afternoon, which is pretty darn good actually. We have a good team, that's why. Yeah, I won't lie. It sounds like I'm deriding them and stuff, but you are right, Wonder Boy. We had a really, really good team. We were able to a lot of us, like I said, have done this a lot before. A lot of us were aware that no, this was go time. So we even had people from out of state coming in. I wasn't about to mention the truck employees, Wonder Boy, but hey, if you want to mention them, the floodgates are open. So yes, there was one particular gentleman, let's put it that way, who was honestly being a bit sus, to be frank. What do I mean by this? So in the past, we had no issues with moving with the movers at all, and the truck driver, no, almost no issue at all. There was one lad, however, who, well, and I guess it's okay for me to mention this just because their management is aware, my PW management is also aware, so hopefully this is something that this issue will be smoothed out in the future. Kept asking for a little bit of the money under the table. The table under the money? Oh, why? Oh, why? Okay, there was it didn't help also that our main organizer was actually someone in another country. Yeah, in another country at the time. So we were a bit caught off guard by this, the bunch of us. So we had to deal with that before and after the show. But basically, nonetheless, we got there slightly before afternoon, and we got to it really, really quick. Usually, there will be a lot of chit-chat about, where do we put the ring? Where do we lay out the stuff before we actually assembled the ring? That thankfully, our coach by proxy in my PW, Miles Koru, he was able to coordinate with us really, really quickly, and we were able to make sure that we laid things out in a fairly orderly manner, without damaging and scuffing the very, very valuable theater floor. And we actually got by fairly quickly. And we assembled the ring fairly quickly. For some reason. So, like I mentioned about aligning, right? So we wanted to make sure that we align the ring right underneath the projector. Yeah. So to those who aren't aware, Quash Theatre is a proper theatre space with overhead lights, with a really large projector screen, really nice theatre floor, and then cascading seats like stairs. So it was a very beautiful, very professional space that we were in. So for some reason, Miles decided I was going to be like the resident ruler. So I was standing right where the projector was, and I don't even know why I was there actually. I'm not sure if it was taking the Mickey out of me, but he basically told me to stand right in front of the at the theater floor, facing the projector, sort of being being the gauge for where the ring should be positioned. I was staying there for at least 15 minutes for them to align. I swear to you, it was like 15 minutes. As an aside, one of our trainees was very kind to bring in some really, really nice, I think it was strawberry drops from this European brand. I know I'm going off tangent here a little bit, but we're not in the show anymore, so I'm not on a bloody deadline here. So that those strawberry drops, oh my goodness, it was delicious. It was huge. It was like the size of a marble. It was a proper strawberry punch. And then once you get to the core of the strawberry drop, it was actually like a strawberry gummy. It's delicious. It definitely kept my spirits up. In fact. Mm-mm. So we actually got it done. In fact, I was actually very, very ready to not eat lunch. In fact, I told the lads, we warned the lads as well that there's a very high chance we might have to skip lunch, at least after past 3 o'clock, just so that we could get everything done, you know. But we were legitimately ahead of schedule. This has never happened before. Usually, I'll be honest, back then, there were less of us. We were a little bit more disorganized. So to say that this was almost a whole day affair was not even an exaggeration. This time around, however, we got things done legitimately like slightly after afternoon. So we actually could eat lunch around afternoon, actually. Yeah. So a bunch of us could eat lunch around afternoon. When we came back, we fixed up a few more things. There you go. We were done before 3 o'clock. Right on time, in fact. Right on time. So it was great. It was great. Then after that, my job still wasn't over. For some of us, there was an opportunity to go back home and rest up a little bit. For me, yes, of course, I had to follow. I had to help out about the international talent. So, to those who aren't aware, New Breed 2 is sort of like our main show of the year. It's sort of our main show of the year. Maybe further down the line, in the coming months, we might have other big shows as well. But this is like this is like our new. We call this New Breed 2. Okay, so it's still a continuation, following the themes of that. This is still a new batch of wrestlers, including for the Australians as well. In fact, I didn't realize, but some of the Australians that were coming down, the international talent, were actually fairly new to wrestling as well, even though they don't look at it at all. So I obviously they needed some vehicles to help bring them around here and there, and then I obviously I'm one of the guys that's been here for a long time, so of course I have to help out. And a through line with them is that it's meat and gym. What do I mean by that? I mean that they want to eat just meat. Hello, Cornelius. Good evening. Good evening, Don. Hello. I'm just recapping what happened to me in my funky weekend. So, Wonder Boy, you saw it. When the Aussies came down, new breeding. Yes, new breeding. I bred very newly. Sorry. Meat and gym equals money? Yeah, you're kind of right. So I was a little bit taken aback by how much they were almost demanding for meat. Now, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So, once the Australians, so I am referring specifically to the Australian contingent here. The Singaporeans, put it this way, because the Singaporeans, they're like they're already like Malaysians. They know how to get around, so they don't need much babysitting. Oh yes, how about this catchphrase? Time to. Do you mean like for New Breed 2, or for our tag team catchphrase? Because for New Breed 2, that was just me joking around, just getting some attention for the show. For our tag team, are you kidding me, Wonder Boy? Why? No, we are not calling ourselves. Our catchphrase is not going to be time to breed, okay? You better not yell that out. I swear to you. Anyways. The Australian contingent wanted to. Oh, okay. I remember now. I remember now. So we went for a pretty late lunch. Actually, the Australians, and we went to a mamak. We went to a mamak, and we had and essentially that's when meat began. That's when the meeting began, because basically everyone wanted to order meat. So when I say meat, I mean like just meat. Okay? Never mind the noodles, never mind the roti canai, just meat. When Carlo Cannon came down, our head coach in Vicious Pursuit, came down last year, he wasn't really like that. It was pretty chill about it. It was treating it like almost like a vacation the past few days before the New Breed 1. I even took him to a lovely Filipino restaurant as well. He really appreciated that. But this time around, he was more focused. He was like, where is the meat? Where is the gym? Did someone say, no, talks? No, don't embolden Wonder Boy, please. I'm feeling dirty inside when I hear that. That's the point. That's the point. And yet you can't look away when when the breeding begins. I need to stop. Well, anyways. So yes, in that Marmak alone, that to say that bill was stupid big is putting it lightly. Putting it lightly. So literally, legitimately, almost everybody got themselves tandoori chicken or something of the sort, or half-boiled eggs. You know, that sort of a thing. So it was a lot of meat. Making barbecue meat, I'm gonna get there soon. Actually, I'm gonna get there soon, Don. Then after that, so mind you, all this happened on a Friday, just a Friday, yeah. I'll let you know when the Friday ended. That Friday felt like the longest Friday ever. I swear. The boy. Stop it. So. What was I saying? Yes. So after that short Marmak session where we ate loads, where we ate well, actually no, for me it was more of a light thing because I saw them eat meeting it up, so I thought, all right, I'll join on the fun. Might as well learn something from this. So I got myself some half-boiled eggs and some chicken. And after that, they wanted to go to a gym. Yes, folks, gymming a day before the show begins. Which is something that I don't typically do, but it's for good pump. You get to follow up with your routine. So they really want to go to a gym. Good luck on this. Yes, thank you. I have to deal with Wonder Boy, so I need all the luck I can get. So we went to a gym, and mind you, that gym. To those who aren't aware, usually gyms walk-ins. So walk-ins is like your one-time entry fee to use the gym. Something like 5 to 15 ringgit is a decent range, very reasonable. The place that we went to, however, was a little bit on the expensive side. I won't lie to you. I'm not going to say the price, but if I had my way, I would have gone to another gym that was a lot more reasonable in price. But it was spacious at the very least. Miles and I, we knew about another gym that was actually fully decked out and very on budget for at least for the local talent. But it was just too it was on the small side and everything, but that means it was a bit cramped, you know. So we had to and there was quite a lot of the Australians. There was at least like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least seven of us. So there's quite the number. And that means that it's 7 big lads that wants to eat and work out hard. So we went to this expensive gym, and to say that they weren't even doing a light session either, you know. They were going full on. Like some of them were lifting at weights heavier than my weight, okay? Meanwhile, I went, it's not that I went super light either, but I definitely, what gym? What? Oh yeah, you went there. Hold on. I'll DM you. Wonder Boy, I will DM you. Okay. Let's see. Okay, there you go. Okay, no, it's not a VIP gym. It was just, I think it's because that particular gym was located in a very uptown place. Like, it's more uptown than where I live. There's gyms in my areas that's far more reasonable than this particular gym. Wonder Boy gave a reaction in his DMs to me, where it is that is the equivalent of what kind of gym that costs so much money? The kind that is located in an very old and very expensive neighborhood. Where I'm from, Damsa Uptown is considered a bit new money-ish. This is old money. This is where people of power reside. Let's put it that way. The Aussies didn't mind too much just because of currency conversion, after all. I felt the pinch just a teeny bit. One of our lads was almost like stunned. Like he almost fell off his chair when he found out about the price. He was very willing to join us and learn a little bit. But at that particular trainee, I'll call him Robbie. I'll call him Robbie for now. That's not his name, but I'll call him Robbie for now. When he found out about the walk-in price, he was like, he almost like, he looked like he was about to have a heart attack. It was so funny. Luckily, one of our organizers gave him some money so that it's like half off for him in some sense. Still pricey though, still pricey. So we did our workouts there, and I thought to myself, I asked Robbie here, what are you gonna do? And he mentioned, you have some guts to be spending lots of money. I'm from Uptown. Yeah. You think like making this VTube model was cheap? Yes, it takes some guts. I could have said no. I could have just dropped them off after all. But I wanted to. I wanted to join them and see how they operate. See how the Australians work. Because I really have to emphasize here, they were much more experienced and much more athletic. So if there's any chance for me to learn something new from them, I will. So I had Robbie shadow me for a little bit, and because I asked him, what's your routine? And his fitness routine that he gave me was, honestly, I wouldn't recommend it, just because it's too, it doesn't cover everything. You know, even if you're just working out, you should still, basically every workout, you should cover a specific thing. Whether it's something really specific like upper body or lower body or biceps or shoulders, that sort of a thing. It should be something specific-ish. Buy wallet. It didn't cost, the walk-in fee wasn't an arm, Don. It didn't cost an entire arm. It cost a good meal. Let's put it that way. A good meal. I don't want to give out the exact number just because I'm not that kind of a guy. Was it above 15 ringgit? Yes. There. You can't make an omelette without cracking some eggs, you know? You want to do anything in life, you gotta invest in it somewhat. And so yeah. So you do have to put in a little bit of money and time for these sort of things. So for me in particular, I had him shadow me just because I realized that his regular workout routine was too generic and too wishy-washy, and he's not putting in. And I realized he wasn't putting in enough days, so I had him shadow me to do a more specific workout, essentially. There's a point where I told him, "Hey, you should maybe after the show message or discuss with our head coach Carlo Cannon. Hey, do you have a fitness routine I could do, like at least for 2 days? Because apparently, according to him, he could only do workout in the gym 1 day per week, which, in my personal opinion, is not acceptable for a wrestler. Not acceptable. If you were just, a normal office job guy kind of guy, what else, just trying to keep fit, even if you do 1 day per week, that's okay. That's fine. Whatever. You're a wrestler, however. You say you only work out in the gym once per week, not acceptable. Not good enough. I know he's busy. He told me as such. He has a busy job. Sure. I basically asked him, do you have time in the weekends to work out? He said yes. So I told him, there's your extra day. Oh, welcome to Cafe Cornelius. So there's your extra day. So now he has 2 days to work out. So I asked him, message Carlo Cannon for a 2-day workout fitness routine. At least that. At the very minimum, least that. I personally prefer 3 to 4. Whatever. Everyone has to start somewhere. at least he was there present to see how the Australians did their thing. So it worked out pretty good. And then here's where it got really fun for the Australians. I was late because I was caught up watching Sesame Street. That's lovely. It's a lovely show.
Did you watch Elmo? Elmo was very educational, yeah.
That was my god-awful Elmo impression. So, after the gym, I asked them, where do you want for dinner? And they said meat. Once again, they said meat. In fact, okay, here's what they said. It wasn't meat, but it might as well have been synonymous with meat. They said, and I kid you not, folks, they said, where do I go for an all-you-can-eat buffet? Where do I go for an all-you-can-eat buffet? And I was like, wow, I haven't been to one in a while. I mean, I've been to buffets before, but I haven't been to one in a while. My goodness. So that was the level of protein intake. A buffet, baby. And unfortunately, I had to be and so the AFG had decided somewhere. I think Carlo was doing a bit of did a bit of Google foo, and they found this all you can eat Korean barbecue place actually in Kuala Lumpur. So you pay a certain sum, a certain amount of money, and within I can't recall how long. It's all you can eat meat. Before we get to them, them actually doing that, unfortunately, I had to be whisked away somewhere because I got a message from the coaches that unfortunately one of our trainees accidentally left. Actually lost a tablet of theirs. They lost a tablet of theirs. In our training center area, you know. I told the lads too. To make sure that you pack up everything. But obviously things were a bit helter-skelter. We're trying to rush a little bit. There was bound to be something left. Unfortunately, in this case, it was an entire tablet. How did they know? No. Our head coach, Carlo Cannon, are they just playing around? I'm sorry, Don. What do you mean exactly? What are you referring to exactly? So, but anyways, in the meantime, so what happened was, I don't know how they found out. I think they went to the training center first, and they found out that their tablet wasn't there anymore. And what's worse, this was outstated as well. We have some trainings who are from out of state, so he had to leave on that day itself. So I had to go back to that to our training center, which was a little bit of a drive. And yeah, I could see that it clearly wasn't there. Luckily for him, I managed to get in contact with one of the managers of the place, and then he asked around. I think in his management group chat. Turns out someone actually found it and kept it. They even posted on Facebook to ask people, hey, did anyone lose this and whatever not. So I waited for a little bit. He came back after he had to cut his prayer short, and I got his tablet back. Hey, look at me trying to be responsible, quasi-leader-ish. So yes, that trainee owes me one. So I'm saying, I wonder what I can get him to do on my behalf. Maybe he can be my new lackey. Maybe he can make me a fine candlelight dinner meal. Yes, for myself, not as a date, just myself. I'm not sharing. I'm not sharing that with anyone else. If I want a candlelight dinner on my own, I'll have a candlelight dinner on my own. There's nothing wrong with that. So what that basically meant is I missed out on the Korean dinner. I missed out on the K barbecue dinner, which just made me sad a little bit because I wanted to meet it up as well with the lads. Because from what I understand, what Miles told me was that they ate like 5 rounds of meat. So like, remember there was like 7 of them. So each time there was a portion of 7 packs. They came to their place and they barbecued. They went 7 rounds. Oh, sorry, 5 rounds of that. 5 rounds of meat. They were emptying out the restaurant of meat, man. They were emptying the restaurant of meat. And here's the hilarious part. Miles and Ref Ryan, my beloved moderator, Ref Ryan. Ryan, are you there? You there, Ryan? If he was here, he could tell us a bit more about this. In fact, let me DM him. He might be busy. I believe he is busy. It's fine. So, apparently, you're also supposed to eat complete the sides as well. If not, you will be charged extra. If you don't finish the food as such. So they ate. They out of everyone there, Ryan, who's a Singaporean, and Miles Karu, who's Malaysian, ate the most sides. I'm sure they joined in on the good amount of meat as well. All 5 rounds of it. So yeah, they guzzled up the protein good. I wish I was there. I wanted to beat it up as well. What, are they gullible? What, you mean, are you talking about a Korean restaurant or something? No. They know how this business works. I'm sure that night maybe profits weren't that great. Because I'm sure that restaurant wasn't expecting 7 Australians. 7 Australians and 1 very chonk Singaporean. One of them was a pretty chonk dude as well. But yeah. I wish I was there. I was so ready to fill up my gut up with delicious Korean barbecue meat, man. Let me just check. Oh, that was fun. That was really... So, that was fun for them. I had to basically play chauffeur right after I got the tablet back. And now, folks, let us finally get to the show. Okay, Saturday as fine rolled on by. I got myself some actually decent amount of sleep. Let's see now. Anything happen? Let's see now. Actually, I realized why I was a lot less nervous for this Saturday's for the Saturday show. Aaron Yeager? Welcome, Aaron, to Cafe Cornelius. Welcome. Are you new here? I believe you are new here. I am a Cornelius Low, professional wrestler turned Butler, VTuber. Yes, and folks, I am indeed an actual professional wrestler. Normally 1 or 3 rounds, but 7 rounds of meat. There was 7 Australians plus 1 big Singaporean. So it was 5 rounds. 5 rounds. Which is to say, still a lot. Still a lot of meat. So in the past few shows I did, especially the ones in Singapore, I was like really feeling nervous and stuff. And I think it's partly because of the timing. Because some of the shows that we did, especially in the house shows in the training center, those shows we held it like in a Sunday afternoon. That's kind of early. So when I say afternoon, around 3 or 4 o'clock, I realized it's because is because I didn't have enough time to digest what I need to do in a match. You know, because this show started at 6 o'clock. Still pretty early. But those few hours made all the difference because it allowed me to just digest what I need to do, strategize more, internalize what I wanted to do a lot more, essentially, so I could come into this event. Not to say I was never confident in the previous shows, but at least internally I knew what to do a lot better. I didn't have to rely on my tag partners that much on what to do next, that sort of a thing. So let me just see. So yes. I'll just mention something. Kuwash Theatre. I missed performing that place partly because it is a proper performance venue. There is a proper backstage area. There's a proper locker room, change room area. There were toilets that we could use. There was even a shower. You know, it was all properly decked out for performance, as opposed to in the training center where like it wasn't really much of a locker room in the first place. Oh man, so it was just not being in when you eat so much you almost vomit. Nah. That means you have more energy. That means you can eat more to bulk up. Oh, I just remembered something that a lot of the Australians made comments on actually. And this is unfortunately a little bit indicative of what we have to face here in Malaysia. There was literally one of the Australians who is very, very ripped, and very much into bodybuilding. He was looking. We were in 7-Eleven at the time, and he saw there was some protein shakes and was like, "Oh, cool, protein shakes." Because they sell them by the bottle these days, right? So he took a look at it. There was a decent amount of protein in it. He looked at the back, looked at the ingredients, he saw there was a good bit of sugar in it as well, and he was like, I'm putting this back now. He didn't want to drink a protein shake. He was almost about to buy it. It had 30 grams of it, if I'm not wrong. It had a good amount of protein in it. He didn't want to take it because it had sugar in it. And that's sort of something that I knew about this for a long time ago, because back then when I was on my bulking phase, I knew that everything in Malaysia has sugar, and if you have too much sugar, it will affect your body shape a little bit, right? So he was deliberately trying to avoid sugar as well. Which is so impossible in Malaysia sometimes, so impossible in Malaysia sometimes. So he was trying his best to eat clean, even though he was in a foreign country, It was kind of wild to see. Kind of wild to see, I won't lie to you. Man. What? So that was quite eye-opening to see. Sugar problem. Yes, Malaysia has a gigantic sugar problem. Gigantic sugar problem, baby. It's like a lot of us. People think so it's kind of hard to actually like bulk up cleanly in Malaysia in a way, because everything has either a lot of fat or a lot of sugar in it. I guess a lot of carbs as well in a way. And I get it. Protein is the most expensive type of food there is. Meat's expensive, fish is expensive, even chicken can be expensive. But remember, folks, we're wrestlers here. We have to take care of our bodies. We have to look good for the show. But if not sweet, it no taste good. We don't care. What we want is protein. Everything must have sugar. It's relatable. I'm trying to avoid diabetes here, man. Okay? I'm trying to avoid diabetes here. as a wrestler, I need to be eating more, and I'm trying my best to also be aware of my sugar intake here, which is one of the reasons why, like, I'm legitimately right now drinking my coffee black, no sugar. At least I think this has no sugar in it. Yeah, it should have no sugar. This came from one of the packets with no sugar in it. We don't care if it doesn't taste good. We tried to make it palatable, don't get me wrong. So we'll season stuff and all that. But we try. But we're supposed to... But we need to look out for what we eat, essentially. So we can look good for you guys. In fact, put it this way. Even Singapore is able to do to help out with this. Has a bit of a leg up in this. Yes, our food is very similar. But, and here's the crazy thing here. In their 7-Eleven, you know what they sell in their 7-Eleven in Singapore? Chicken breast. Like one piece of cooked chicken breast in an airtight package. I remember Miles telling me that he was shocked at how tasty it was, how juicy it was. Just one whole chicken breast. Just that. It's crazy, right? Crazy. Oh yeah. It's hard. It's hard here in Malaysia, but I try. Anyways. So okay. Chicken breast. Yes, I'm not kidding. No cap. I am not capping. No capitulations here. If you ever have the chance to go to Singapore, raw cooked. It's 7-Eleven. It's a cooked chicken breast. If you ever have the chance, go to Singapore, check out the 7-Eleven, and you will see for yourself one cooked chicken breast for sale. It's wild, but that kind of very much says a lot on how they deal with health and how we deal with health in Malaysia. Okay. And finally, we get to the show itself. I gotta say, this y'all were crazy. The crowd that came to watch us in My PW Newbie 2 were very giving. They want to see a good show. They want to be invested. They want to go ham. So they will get rowdy and loud over even the smallest things. So we even had a pre-show match. So our show started at 6 o'clock, but 20 minutes before that, there was a pre-show match as well with our two new trainees. You know, so they're like our, so in some ways they're like our graduates in a way. So they get a pre-show match, and there was still a good reaction for them as well. I was very happy to hear that for them. And so and here's the fun part. I don't think I have any photos of it. To those who aren't aware, the photos here are provided by the links. There were actually 3 photographers actually in this show. Usually we only have like 1 or 2, but this show we had a whopping 3. So I've credited them in the description down below. So if you guys ever need a photographer, go check them out. Calvin, Kamal, and Mr. Patrick himself, Mr. Patrick Ng. They did really great work for us here. And so I'm not gonna go through every single match. I'll just go through some of the highlights, stuff that I want to point out for you folks. So second match is my match. Cornelius Lowe and Blazing Raj versus the team of Rory Holmes and Daniel Coxworth. Now, this match has a bit of a story to it, to those who followed. Because Coxworth last year in New Breed 1, he had a Coxworth threesome, a Coxworth trios, I believe, alongside Tommy RD and Blazing Raj. And they got sort of humiliated a little bit because they were going up against this man mountain of a wrestler named Chris Weiss, and he basically defeated all 3 of them. It was a 3-on-1 handicap match, and he trounced all 3 of them. It's not like Coxsworth did much with them either after that. So I gave Blazing Raj a bit of a chance to have a little bit of a payback, in fact. So I want to show this photo first here, because I thought to myself, this is something that's t-shirt worthy. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. So for our interest, I thought we'd try something a little bit different. Because in the past I would have been, no, we're coming out just to my music and that's it. But I thought, okay, I'm gonna give Raj a bit of a chance here. So at first the music was mine, but then we switched up pretty quickly to Raj's music, and we went all ham on it. This particular match was unique for me, especially because this was the first full match where I am cheered and supported. Usually I'm the one that's getting booed. Usually all the audience members want me to lose, as opposed to wanting me to win. I don't know why. Now maybe it's because I changed up the entrance music. I don't know. I was still wrestling the same way as I ever did. But it was the first time I was fully cheered, almost from the entire way, from the start to the end of the match. Even though someone wrote a low sucks sign, and I tore in half, I still got cheered nonetheless. It was wild. So that was how we were positioned initially. Wait, let me just check something. Okay, here we go. Let's start with this one first. Oopsie. Here we go. So this is Daniel Coxsworth, and that's Rory Holmes. Rory Holmes is actually someone that I've actually met before in Perth, a long time ago when I wrestled there. So this is one of the veterans there in Perth. He moved to Melbourne actually, and he joined up with Daniel Coxsworth. And I gotta say, for a guy who's seen as like the muscle for Daniel Coxsworth, this lad here with the jacket and scarf, he's got a ton of personality on him, Rory Holmes. So although yes, he was throwing me around by quite a good bit, I'll give him his due respect. This lad here, however, he made fun of us. He made fun of us Malaysians. I was about to throw hands, but Ref Ryan had held me back. Even Blazing Raj had to help me back as well. So I did not appreciate that, indeed. But fought back we did. Raj had is really brilliant enziguri here. Really brilliant enziguri here. And here's me facing up against the very, very tall Daniel Coxsworth. And as you can see, I did not care. I did not care that he was a good bit taller than me. He shoved me. I shoved him back. He tried to hit me. I smacked him around a good bit too. And Raj and I, we even did some tag teaming together. This is us doing a Russian leg sweep alongside a mid-rope shoulder tackle combo. Lovely stuff. I actually planned a good bit of tag moves with Raj actually. Unfortunately, we didn't do a lot of it because they sort of managed to single me out. So in tag matches, time on strategy is to single out one person, just focus on that one person, and so that's what happened here. I got singled out by a good bit, and to the point where Coxsworth literally yelled, "Scoop me, Holmesy!" And then Rory Holmes here scooped up Daniel Coxsworth and slammed him right onto me. Let me tell you, that did not feel good for the body. I was sore for days because of this match, man. But we managed to prevail. After Raj ate a massive single leg drop kick by Holmes, I managed to capitalize, hit my finisher on Coxsworth here, and there you go. There you go. I got me my first ever tag team victory in my PW. I seem to be doing a lot of tag team matches these days, man. I was in Singapore, like the past several times, like literally 3 out of 4 times that I was in Singapore, it was in a tag match. Yeah, I was in a 3v. I was in a 2v2v2. I was in 2v2. I was in another 2v2 in Thailand last year as well. Am I becoming a tag team specialist? I'm not a tag team specialist, guys. I do submission wrestling, for God's sakes. That's what I do. I do submission wrestling. I like my submission wrestling. That's my specialty. I couldn't really pull out a lot of submission moves here just because it's a tag match. Usually you have to it's tough to do submission wrestling in tag matches. Cornelius FTW. Thank you. Indeed. Yes. In fact, let's do it right now. And your winner of this match by pinfall, the team of Blazing Raj and Cornelius. No. I should do that more often, actually. So yes, it's a bit of a rocky match. It's something we had to fight out of it. But yes, Raj and I prevailed. So we're still together as a tag team, in fact. As to whether but put it this way, I still think of myself very much as a singles wrestler. However, because I am one of the most senior guys around, I can see why my PW, in fact, the other Southeast Asian companies want to book me with other younger and newer wrestlers as well, just so that I can guide them a little bit. I'm pretty good with strategizing and planning, tag moves and planning strategies, understanding the idea of how to work in a tag match. So all that I'm pretty familiar with. So I get it. But at the same time, ugh. It was so awesome to watch you live with Raj. You were there, Kuma? You were there? Oh, thank you for coming. How was the show? How was the show? Did you enjoy it? What did you thought of my match? What do you thought of my match? Oh my goodness. Thank you for coming. How was the show for you overall? How was my match? How was I in particular? Never mind anyone else. Oh, I know what will get you in a twist. Kuma. What I'm about to show you is what I like to call for the ladies. What do I mean by that? Well, this is one of the Australian wrestlers, by the way. His name is John Won. I'll leave this up for a little bit longer. This is, I guess, for the ladies. Maybe for the men as well. Who am I to judge? Yeah. What do you think? Any thoughts? He's a damn good wrestler too, mind you. Mean-ass wrestler as well. He technically won 2 matches in the night itself, actually. There were some shenanigans that happened. Oh, I wish I highlighted that more, actually. I didn't prep the photos for that. But basically, what happened was, throughout this match, throughout this entire night, Kuma, you saw it, a certain Dr. Gore from Old Changi Hospital, Singapore came out and was basically antagonizing their tag rivals at the time, the Juicy Boys, the team of Wonder Boy and Miles Carew. So he was antagonizing the audience, being very mean and rude to them. Before Miles' match against Danwen, mind you, this was Miles' return singles match against Danwen in my PW. He was Dr. Gore attacked him. And Danwen gave Miles no quarter. Gave him a massive massive Northern Lights bomb. Ugh, it looked horrific. The ladies loved Zanwen, however. Like apparently, when he came out of the curtains, people audibly gasped because, yes, we've had some very like chonk men that came by, but Zanwen got the ladies gasping. There was literally one Instagram story I saw. So we were on a media firestorm that Saturday night. One of Instagram stories literally had one. There were literally girls like squealing, look at him, and then one of the girls literally said, "Oh, daddy." So yes, someone actually said "daddy" to another person IRL. It doesn't just occur virtually, folks. It happens IRL as well. Because look at that. Oh, poor mouse. But look at that. Look at that. My God. Wait, that was... Wait. You were the one that said... this is awkward. This is awkward. Oops. I didn't mean to call you out like that. I wasn't trying to call out anyone. You were the... Oh, dear. Oh, no. Well, you were the one that revealed yourself, so yeah. So I can't be blamed here. Okay, you can't. How could you? Hey, I was not going to reveal any names at all. I didn't know the name. I was just scrolling through the Instagram stories. Someone said, "Ooh, daddy," and I was like, "Of course I have to mention it on stream because it was my first. How are you? I'm sorry. Okay, I'm not going to reveal you. Okay, I don't even know what you actually look like. This, I mean, you're welcome. You get to see him again for the second time. You're welcome. Did you manage to talk to him after the show? Actually, by the way, Kuma, did you manage to talk to him after the show? Did you approach him? Did you take a photo with him? Okay, I'll stop pouring out a Zanwen here. Okay. Oh. This next, okay, and this was the other highlight for me in the show. You did? How did that go? I'm sure he was approached a lot. I was a bit busy after the show. I got overwhelmed myself actually after the show. But how was that little interaction like? I'm sure he behaved very differently to you than he did to Matty Romano and Miles Carew. How was he to you? But anyways, this is the other big thing for me. In this show, we introduced the MyPW Southeast Asia Championship. No comment. I wanted to take a photo with you, but you ran away. Aww, you're not gonna share with the class. How closely you went up to Zanwen. Was your first words to his face, "Hi, Daddy"? Any chance? I'm sorry. I had to ask that. But yeah, again, I apologize. I'll explain very, very soon why I was like everywhere in that after the show. I'll explain very, very soon. But anyways, yes, the MyPW Southeast Asia Championship. And this is the sequel to the MyPW National WrestleCon Championship. So yes, finally, we can retire saying that incredibly long name to something that's just slightly shorter. So to those who aren't aware, before this belt was the MyPW, the unified belts of the MyPW National WrestleCon Championship. So there were two belts. I once held the MyPW National Championship. Okay, one half of those unified belts. Wonderboy here decided it's about time. I'm sure he has a discussion with the MyPW management, and we combined the two titles together to make this very, very beautiful title here. So I guess he's the first belt holder here. Very shiny belt. I wonder what's it like to have that wrapped around your waist. I intend to do this as well. I intend to have this around my waist as well one day. Look at that belt. Big and gold, baby. And so he was going up against the Butcher Man. A bit of a rematch, actually, especially because Butcher Man disrespected him after the show. In last year's show. I'll show this. The Wonder Boy. I believe this was his first time ever doing a tope con hilo. So that means literally diving over the top rope and flipping in Malaysia. He did it in the perfect position too. Right where the entrance is, so there's more space. Just in case if he dove, just in case if a Wonder Boy dove at the audience or anything. We don't risk you guys at all. Oh, a funny thing here. I can actually explain why there's no audience members there at the leftmost. Why those seats are empty. I believe there were seats there. There were people sitting there before intermission. However, it was wild when the Butcher licked his back. Yeah, I saw that. That was gross. I was like, why is the Butcher Man biting him there? I was like, then I realized, oh, he's licking him there. No, that's even worse. Yes. The Butcher Man is very known to be kind of a gross man. Oh, apologies. I'm also having my dinner as well. Oh yeah, it was gross, but Wonder Boy persevered, and there you go. And he managed to get the win with he managed to get a cheeky, sneaky win with a crucifix pin. Actually, he seems to be doing that a lot for some reason. I can explain why. So someone, one of the wrestlers basically explained to me that there were people seated there. However, those audience members told him that they decided to move up to the cascaded seats actually. I don't know if you remember, but I'm actually the one that posted the story about you and Raj about how you both have hosted. I see. Kuma, you stop exposing yourself, Kuma. Stop exposing yourself. But yes, I do appreciate that. That you made that little Insta story, Kuma. Much appreciated. Oh yeah, I was trying to go for more for united and fiery because he has this because Raj's whole stick is he's got this inner fire about him. I even tried to coach him too about it and unleash it more in our match because if you remember right, Kuma, he had trouble knocking the very big Rory Holmes down. So I had to pick him up. I had to grab his head, encourage him, remind him of the inner fire within him, and off he went. He managed to actually take him down. So yes, I can be a good manager. Ha! Take that, naysayers. Okay. I'm going to show what happened in the main event. This is the moment. This was the particular moment that everyone was waiting to see. The moment they saw this thing that came out, everyone was on the edge of their seat, waiting in anticipation. This occurred in the main event. This occurred in the match between Andrew the Statement Tang versus Carlo Cannon. This was, I believe that match became a false count anywhere match. That means you can send, you can basically attempt a pinfall anywhere around the whole area. Essentially, it doesn't have to be in the ring. So basically, hardcore rules apply. And the moment that the crowd saw this particular thing, they went insane. Without further ado, folks, let me show it to you. One more time. Everyone was on their feet for this. The Malaysian crowd has never seen this before. They have never seen such a thing before in their life. Almost everyone was on their feet, actually. Except those who are they had to duck down, I suppose. I was fully supporting you both during the match. Much appreciated, Kuma. Much appreciated. That means we were doing our jobs right. It was wild. Everyone was shouting table, table, table. Yes, the moment. I think, if I'm not wrong, yes, if I'm not wrong, when Carlo heard everyone chanting table, 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 he looked at everyone and said, "You want tables? I'll give you tables." And he pulled this table right out. He pulled this table right on underneath the ring. Why am I still blushing? And so, basically, Carlo was in a bit of trouble in this match too, actually, because Statement kept working on his knee, but Carlo was able to give him a nice super kick to the back of his head. Laid out Statement onto the table, climbed up. In spite of him having a bad knee, he still climbed up to the top. And for the first time ever, we could imagine what it's like when a refrigerator flies. We call him a fridge. Yeah, we call Carlo a fridge with wheels, because he's a fast lad. So up he goes, but eventually everyone falls to gravity. And the crowd went bonkers. Everyone had their phones out. If I'm not wrong, Carlo told me after the match, after he, recovered a little bit, got to his senses, chatting with the newer lads, he said that by the time we rolled on to past midnight, there were over 20 people that tagged him on Instagram for this particular spot. I just realized, dude, look at this. He crashed through Statement so hard that the table legs were embedded into the mat. Ouch! Ouch! God, that's brutal. God, that's brutal. Our Malaysian crowd has never seen anything like this before, and they just went utterly insane for this match, man. Utterly insane for this match. This particular spot. I don't think anyone will ever forget it too. Completely madness. Complete, utter madness. I know that the boys at the back were also watching very closely as well, because they've never seen anything like this before. This is something to learn. Might be something we might do also in the future. We shall see. We shall see. It was wild. Indeed it was. My goodness. Okay. So after the show is done, so now we're getting to the post-show part of it. And that's when I believe Johan announced all the wrestlers to come out and just mingle a little bit. Here's the thing though. Okay. So before I get to that, I'm gonna mention something, and this is gonna be like the most coy thing I'm gonna mention this whole stream. I need to be very careful how I talk about this. Initially, I was super excited for this show, but after everything all said and done, I was left with a bit of a heavy heart with the show. Because for the most part, things went really well. Things went really great in the show. Something happened, however, that... Put it this way. Something happened that I've only ever felt for myself, but it happened to someone else. And I had to be there for this person. I had to step up to some extent. All I'll say is that what happened to me. So when I say what happened to me, I'm referring to obviously my chronic injury that's in some ways really defined how I wrestled and why I'm also a VTuber. Is not the end of the road for me. That's all I'll say about that. What that basically also means for me for this show is that for the first time ever, I am tasked to co-lead the disassembly of the ring. So for that to happen, we have to basically shoot out everybody, get all the ring crew, tell all the ring crew to be ready to also disassemble the ring very, very quickly and efficiently. The moment I stepped out of the curtains, you know what I saw? You know what I saw when everyone else was filing down, chatting with the wrestlers and all that jazz? You know what I saw? I saw two guys who I didn't recognize monkeying around the ring. I was like, wait, who are those two guys? Who are those two guys? They are audience members. What? Why is no one stopping them? Why is no one stopping them? This was supposed to be the ring crew's job. Supposed to be the ring crew's. I had to go in, jump into the ring, and basically stop them because they were running the ropes too. They were running the ropes as well. I was basically, guys, you are not supposed to be here. Out. From what I understood, the ring crew, some of the ring crews, I guess excuse was that they were busy again ushering some of the audience members out, and I believe some of them, and I am very aware that some of them were also very, very new to the business as well. So they didn't understood the gravity of non-wrestling personnel entering the ring. And yes, folks, that's very much a thing. With some exceptions, you're not supposed to enter the ring. It's like in a theater. It's like theater. You know, you're not supposed to be on stage. You're not supposed to be there touching the set. You know, that's not your property. You know, you didn't pay to come to the show to touch the set of a stage, and you're not allowed to be up there because that sort of is dangerous. It's dangerous for you, the audience. So I, as a talent, had to step in and big brother them out. It's supposed to be the ring crew's job. So I had to so after the show, I had to tell the ring crew, no, not supposed to do that. Okay, no, I wasn't singling anyone out, but I just had to tell them about this sort of thing. It's part of the business to protect the business. So that was one thing. And then after I was once again very ready to help to tell all the ring crew to shoo everyone out, except everyone started to except a shocking number of audience members wanted to take photos with me. Like this was perhaps the most times anyone's ever wanted to take photos with me. Like there were people that I didn't know wanted to say hello to me. There were people who were close to me that also wanted to take photos with me. I don't know if you were apologies that I would have taken a photo with you as well, Kuma, but like you said, I was busy trying to get everyone mobilized to get ready to disassemble the bloody ring. So I'll be honest, I was a little bit emotional actually because so many of my friends and acquaintances came and supported me and came to watch the show, and they were very, very happy. I even got art. I even got fan art that was drawn for me. But photo, another time, Kuma. Another time. There's always another time. I'm definitely gonna be there in the next event. Absolutely. I still got legs on me. Don't worry. So I almost cried. I won't lie. I legit almost cried because I wasn't expecting so many people to be approaching me, man. And then they were all like really, really happy. Some of the folks that have watched me in the past, that have watched me in the house show in our in KL City Arena, they mentioned to me that this really truly felt like a wrestling show because of the venue that we were in. The fact that we were doing this show in Kuash made it just that much more epic because there were proper lights. It was a more intimate setting. The seats were nicer. There was air conditioning. It was just like, such a lovely venue to do a show in. So everything just was properly elevated because we were doing it in Kuash. Ah, man. So yeah. So, but eventually we could shoo everyone out. I'll show one more photo. And this particular lad, was, I basically told him and some of the other ring crew, okay, now is the time. Once I saw that the dust was settling a little bit, there was a few more stragglers. I told the ring crew, okay, let's start to slowly encourage everyone to leave the arena, go to the merch booth, buy our merch. Because we were on deadline here. I'm gonna leave this up here for a little bit. Do you see what I see? So yes, a certain someone was part of ring crew. Very generous of him to be part of ring crew, in fact. Like I actually saw him. He was talking. He actually approached a couple of I think they were like British audience members. Sorry, could you please leave? And they were like being a bit incredulous, like, why? What you here? It's because and he had to explain to them, very graciously that no, we have to disassemble the ring now, and we have to get out in this time. And it's like, oh, okay, we understand. So there's ways to go about this in a polite manner. We are providing a service after all. I literally wrote on my OBS, because to add an image you have to add a title to it, right? Add a title, and I wrote here, future. That's all I'm going to say about this. All right, so apologies for that. Let's check something. Let's see now. So, okay, so once we had everyone out, finally everyone out, then we began to disassemble. Luckily, like I mentioned, I was co-leading the disassembly, so it wasn't just me. So I had to and luckily, a lot of these guys, most of them were experienced already in helping us tear down the ring. Even the Australians and Singaporeans were also assisting us. So a lot of us were doing it, and we actually got things out before we were supposed to not be there anymore in record time, actually. So I was really, really pleased with that. Yeah, oh man, and one last thing I'll mention is that our main organizer, the big head honcho, the COO, the Triple H of my PW, Edmund Asman, the Golden Tiger. Oh god, I had to really assist him in this one actually. At one point, he kept telling me, "Hey man, you need to help out with the ring for me and stuff and all that, and help me out do this and that, because I haven't eaten all day." Mind you, he's also someone that flew in from Australia, but literally he didn't eat the entire day. So I was like, why? And he wrestled an entire match as well. Insane. That he wrestled an entire match without eating. I was like, I kept yelling at him too. I yelled at him like at least a couple times. Banana, banana. He kept saying, I need to go find a banana, man. I need to go find a banana. He didn't find a banana. So I kept yelling at him, find a banana, banana. So we managed to get things somehow, some way. We managed to get everything back into the train center. So, like I said, good event. Really, really great event. One of our best. Easily one of our best. Just, I was just a bit, yeah. Again, that particular thing that happened, it emotionally struck me a lot more than I thought. Like for the first time ever, I kind of cried over something pro wrestling related. You know, I cried over, like, when I say pro wrestling related, I mean like something Malaysian pro wrestling related. Because I could empathize in that sense. I could empathize, you know. So there was, I guess it was a bit bittersweet for me, this event. You know, a bit bittersweet. So don't get me wrong, guys. Don't get me wrong. This was a great show. Great show. I'm glad to be a part of it. I just had to step up in a way that I wasn't expecting to step up at all. You know. Further down the line, I'm definitely almost seen as like one of the guys to be more involved with my PW. I already am in a way. So I think that's about it, folks. Oh yes. Okay, so before we leave, folks, I just want to let you know, folks, tomorrow, I have another stream. Hopefully we'll start exactly 8 o'clock. And I am playing Warhammer 40k bolt gun. Here's the waiting room for you folks. So I'm finally able to get into the streaming mode again. Finally able to get into the streaming groove once again. Yes! Finally. Now I can remind folks I actually am a bloody VTuber. So, hope you guys look forward to that. Okay, folks. I'm gonna end it here now. If you can, give a like, give a subscribe. There's even a donation link down below in the descriptions if you wish to help out, if you directly support Cafe Cornelius. But right now, Cafe Cornelius is now closing shop. I'm definitely joining. Thank you so much. Cafe Cornelius is now closing shop, but may Cafe Cornelius never close in your hearts. Have a lovely night, every low. Have a lovely night.